Auditing, that is the 4.5-hour longest exam. Now, in some states, an audit class is required to sit for the exam. In some states, it isn't. As far as auditing, that's like, I used to work at Deloitte & Touche, or Deloitte, down in downtown Los Angeles. So when working at Deloitte, one of the things I did is I would go out and I would obtain management's financial statements. And when you pick up management's financial statements, they make certain assertions in the form of the statements. And your job, should you decide to accept it, is to obtain sufficient, appropriate audit evidence, enough good audit evidence so you can give an opinion on management's assertions. So when you go out to the company, you pick up management statements, they're making certain assertions in the form of the financial statements. Your job as an auditor is to give an opinion on these financial statements. So on the audit exam, part of the exam is planning the audit. Sarbanes Oxley talks about audit risk. We talk about errors versus fraud. What is fraud? Different types of fraud. Talk about internal control. You need to understand management's system of internal control. We talk about doing substantive testing to corroborate or substantiate what management is asserting. The audit report, because at the very end you draft the report, which says things like, in our opinion, the statements referred to above presents fairly in all material respects the financial position of Exco as of 12/31/X1, the result of its operations in conformity with U.S. GAAP. Right? I have a lot of free time. But you're giving an opinion in conformity with what? U.S. GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. What is GAAP? FIFO, LIFO, weighted average. And so you're giving an opinion whether or not the statements are presented in conformity with generally accepted accounting principles. That's what they're looking at in auditing. Don't forget audit risk. Don't forget things like statistical sampling, IT, reviews, compilations, governmental audits, forecast projections. Those are all things that do show up still in the audit exam. The key is study hard, don't get discouraged. Woo, little Michael Jackson walk. Come on down. I've been teaching almost 20 years after I left Deloitte & Touche. I've done this for many, many years, helped thousands and thousands of people accomplish their goal, which is to get through the exam.